In a realm where light and darkness intertwined, an ancient prophecy spoke of a lineage born from the union of two opposing forces. The Shadowborn, as they were called, were destined to either bring balance to the world or plunge it into eternal chaos. Caius Vantari, the last of the Shadowborn line, emerged from the shadows of his family's legacy, determined to uncover the truth behind his mysterious heritage. Haunted by dreams of a world torn asunder, Caius knew that his path would be fraught with danger and self-discovery. Caius's journey began in the heart of the Whispering Woods, a place where the boundaries between the living and the dead blurred. As he navigated the twisted paths, he encountered Evelyn Duskweaver, a mysterious figure cloaked in secrets. Evelyn, an outcast from the Celestial Order, sensed the power within Caius and offered to guide him through the treacherous landscape of his destiny. Her eyes gleamed with an otherworldly knowledge, and Caius couldn't shake the feeling that their meeting was more than mere chance. Together, they ventured into the ruins of an ancient temple, where the walls echoed with the whispers of forgotten gods. Inside, they discovered a cryptic tome that spoke of the Shadowborn's true purpose: to bridge the gap between the realms of light and darkness, and to prevent the apocalyptic war that threatened to consume the world. As Caius ran his fingers over the weathered pages, he felt a surge of energy coursing through his veins, as if the book had awakened a dormant power within him. As Caius delved deeper into the mysteries of his lineage, he began to manifest abilities that defied explanation. Shadows bent to his will, and he could summon forth ethereal flames that danced upon his fingertips. Evelyn watched with a mixture of awe and trepidation, knowing that Caius's growing power would draw the attention of those who sought to manipulate him for their own gain. She vowed to protect him, even as she wrestled with the secrets of her own past. Unbeknownst to Caius and Evelyn, a rival descendant from the opposing lineage had already set his sights on the young Shadowborn. Tyrian Stormheart, a ruthless warrior with a heart as cold as the steel of his blade, had been tasked with preventing the prophecy from coming to pass. As he tracked Caius's movements from the shadows, he plotted to strike at the opportune moment, determined to snuff out the Shadowborn's light before it could grow too bright. As Caius and Evelyn delved deeper into the temple's catacombs, they encountered a series of ancient trials designed to test the Shadowborn's worthiness. Spectral guardians, bound by centuries-old oaths, challenged Caius to prove his mastery over the opposing forces that flowed through his veins. With Evelyn's guidance and his own growing abilities, Caius navigated the treacherous obstacles, his resolve growing stronger with each victory. In the heart of the catacombs, they discovered a shimmering portal that pulsed with an otherworldly energy. Evelyn revealed that the portal led to the ethereal plane, a realm where the spirits of the Shadowborn ancestors resided. She warned Caius that entering the portal would be a point of no return, as the knowledge he gained there would forever change the course of his destiny. With a deep breath, Caius stepped through the portal, ready to face whatever lay ahead. The ethereal plane was a world of breathtaking beauty and unsettling darkness. Caius found himself standing before a council of spectral figures, each representing a different aspect of the Shadowborn's power. They spoke in riddles and cryptic prophecies, revealing fragments of the impending apocalypse that threatened to consume the mortal realm. Caius listened intently, piecing together the clues that would guide him on his path. As Caius communed with his ancestors, Evelyn kept watch over his physical form back in the temple. Suddenly, she sensed a dark presence approaching. Tyrian Stormheart had finally caught up with them. Evelyn drew upon her own arcane abilities to erect a shimmering barrier around Caius, protecting him from Tyrian's initial onslaught. The temple shook with the force of their clash, as Evelyn fought to buy Caius the time he needed to complete his journey in the ethereal plane. Within the spectral realm, Caius faced a final trial, a battle against a manifestation of his own inner darkness. The shadow self taunted him, preying on his doubts and fears, but Caius refused to yield. He embraced the duality within himself, acknowledging that light and darkness were two halves of the same whole. With this realization, he unleashed a blast of pure, balanced energy that shattered the illusion and earned him the blessings of his ancestors. As the vision faded, Caius knew that he was ready to face the challenges that lay ahead. With newfound power and purpose, Caius emerged from the ethereal plane, ready to confront the dangers that awaited him. He found Evelyn locked in a fierce battle with Tyrian, the temple's once sacred grounds now scorched and shattered by their arcane duel. Caius leapt into the fray, his abilities now amplified by the blessings of his ancestors. Together, he and Evelyn drove Tyrian back, forcing the rival Shadowborn to retreat and regroup. In the aftermath of the battle, Caius and Evelyn tended to their wounds and discussed their next move. They knew that Tyrian would not rest until he had completed his mission, and that the fate of the world hung in the balance. Evelyn suggested seeking out Liara Shadowcloak, a powerful enchantress who had ties to both the Shadowborn and the Celestial Order. If anyone could help them unravel the prophecy and prevent the apocalypse, it would be her. The journey to find Liara took them across the land, through haunted forests and over desolate, wind-swept plains. Along the way, they encountered pockets of the ancient rivalries' influence, as communities torn apart by the struggle between light and darkness. Caius and Evelyn did what they could to mend the rifts, demonstrating that balance rather than dominance was the key to lasting peace. As they drew closer to Liara's last known location, Caius began to experience vivid, prophetic dreams. In these visions, he saw a great city consumed by a maelstrom of shadow and flame, and at its center, a figure wreathed in an aura of terrible power. He knew that this was the architect of the impending apocalypse, the true enemy that he would have to face if he hoped to save the world from destruction. Finally, they reached the Shadowcloak Sanctuary, an ancient stronghold hidden deep within the mountains. Liara greeted them at the gates, her eyes filled with a knowing sadness. She had foreseen their coming and knew the burden that Caius carried. Over the course of several days, she taught Caius to harness his unique gifts and shared her knowledge of the prophecy. Yet even as they planned their next steps, they couldn't shake the feeling that time was running out and that the final confrontation was drawing near. Armed with Liara's guidance and their own growing mastery of the Shadowborn's powers, Caius and Evelyn set out to confront the architect of the impending apocalypse. Their journey took them to the heart of the great city from Caius's visions, a once thriving metropolis now teetering on the brink of chaos. The streets were choked with shadows, and the air crackled with an unnatural energy that set their teeth on edge. As they navigated the city's treacherous alleyways, they were beset by the architect's minions, twisted creatures born from the corrupted energies that now suffused the city. Caius and Evelyn fought side by side, their powers complementing each other in a deadly dance of light and shadow. Yet even as they pushed forward, they couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched, their every move anticipated by their enemy. At the city's heart, they found the architect waiting for them, a figure cloaked in shadow and radiating an aura of malevolent power. To their horror, they recognized the face beneath the hood. It was Tyrian Stormheart, his eyes now glowing with an unholy light. He had embraced the darkest aspects of his lineage, allowing himself to become a vessel for the corrupting forces that sought to unmake the world. The battle that followed was like nothing Caius or Evelyn had ever experienced. Tyrion's power was immense, fueled by the chaos and suffering he had sown throughout the city. The very fabric of reality warped and twisted around them as they clashed, their abilities pushed to the limit. Yet even in the face of this overwhelming darkness, Caius refused to give in to despair. He drew upon the strength of his ancestors, the wisdom of Liara's teachings, and the unwavering support of Evelyn, forging himself into a weapon of balance and purpose. In a final, desperate gambit, Caius unleashed the full might of his Shadowborn heritage, channeling the energies of light and darkness into a single devastating strike. The blast shattered Tyrion's corrupted form, banishing the dark entities that had taken root within him. As the dust settled, Caius and Evelyn stood amidst the ruins of the city, exhausted but victorious. They knew that the battle was far from over. There would always be those who sought to upset the balance. But for now, the world had been given a chance to heal, to find a new equilibrium in the wake of the Shadowborn's legacy. In the aftermath of their victory, Caius and Evelyn found themselves hailed as heroes by the survivors of the city. They had faced the darkness and emerged triumphant, offering a glimmer of hope in a world that had long been torn asunder by ancient rivalries. Yet even as they basked in the gratitude of those they had saved, they knew that their work was not yet done. Liara Shadowcloak arrived in the city, her eyes filled with a mix of pride and sorrow. She had sensed the outcome of the battle from afar, and knew that Caius had fulfilled his role in the prophecy. Yet she also knew that the Shadowborn's legacy was not so easily put to rest. There would always be those tempted by the lure of power, those who sought to tip the scales in favor of light or darkness. In the days that followed, Caius and Evelyn worked tirelessly to help rebuild the city and its people. They shared their knowledge of balance and harmony, showing that true strength came not from dominance, but from understanding and cooperation. Slowly but surely, the city began to heal, its people learning to embrace the duality that had once threatened to tear them apart. As they prepared to depart the city and begin their new journey as guardians of balance, Caius and Evelyn were approached by a group of young individuals who had been touched by their deeds. These brave souls, each bearing the mark of the Shadowborn, pledged themselves to the cause of maintaining equilibrium, vowing to carry on the legacy that Caius had begun. With a mixture of pride and humility, Caius and Evelyn accepted their new roles as mentors and guides, knowing that the future of the Shadowborn now rested in the hands of a new generation. And so, Caius Vantari and Evelyn Duskweaver set out once more, their hearts filled with purpose and their spirits unbowed by the challenges that lay ahead. They knew that the road would be long and fraught with danger, but they also knew that they would face it together, united by the unbreakable bond forged in the crucible of their trials. The Shadowborn Chronicles had come to a close, but the legend of Caius and Evelyn had only just begun, destined to echo through the ages as a testament to the power of balance, love, and the indomitable spirit of those who dared to walk the line between light and darkness.